We got to. Hello, Richard.
Hi, Colin. It's been so long. I miss you.
I know it's been so long. I think that the wood paneling, the fine oak has aged in your office.
I don't know about the oak, but I sure have. Um, we talk about, all these wonderful things in the banter and black and gold banter, and that's all wonderful stuff. I happen to notice something though and first of all, you have a new time slot, not necessarily new, but it is new. And what is that?
2 to 6 on KDK 100.1 FM, AM 1020, KDK, 2 to 6
And that's
p.m.
and that's Monday through Friday, right?
It is.
So I think I have discovered that you know something about everything. And that's kind of the format of your show. You've really tackled some tough issues. And I really applaud you because not a lot of people can have that level of conversation about any topic. And you do. You created one of the best prepared, most prepared uh, personalities, TV, radio, doesn't matter what it is, that I've ever encountered. And so I salute you for that. Through that journey of learning a little bit more about you, I discovered a couple things because we talk about the state of the world today, and we
Yeah.
talk about people who don't want to be involved, and we talk about everybody staying in their own swim lane. And so when I saw what I think I saw, three things about you that really impressed me because they were completely opposite of what a lot of people or most people would do, and they're courageous, and they really represent to me what everybody in our society should be. It should be participatory. It should be you don't turn your back and walk away. It's not somebody else's problem. It's our problem. Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you know where I'm going with this?
Because I was talking about Good Samaritans, because there was a guy in Los Angeles that walked up on somebody that was stealing a catalytic converter of a car. And he was an actor.
We had 10 of them stolen 2 weeks ago.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
They're selling the metal is precious.
Yes.
Like it.
Yeah.
And he walked up and said, "What are you doing?" And they shot him dead right on the street.
I know the story.
And I said, are people, and it's emblematic in this, like if somebody has a flat tire on the road, right now we just assume AAA is going to stop. Like people don't,
Yeah.
we don't do Good Samaritan stuff anymore. And it's really an interesting thing because it's kind of real important to me to still be involved. And it isn't
100%.
like back patting or whatever, but there were like three very obvious instances where people were like standing around when something had to happen. And I jumped in and I ended up having to go to court and testify with the police to the police.
Didn't one of those events occur not far from me in Cranberry?
It did.
What happened in Cranberry?
This is a spooky story and a very weird story. My wife and I were walking into whatever one's up there, Marshalls or TJ Maxx, one of the two's up there. And so we walked in and everybody, right after we walked in, we were in there a minute and a half. People were screaming in the back and pointing at this one guy. Well, he had a camera fashioned somehow and was putting it under the dressing room curtain, like to take pictures of women changing.
Right.
And so, and you could tell, and the girl came out and she wasn't very old. She's probably right around 18 or 20. And she pointed, that's him. That's the guy. And people started screaming. And the manager just pointed. And so the guy hurriedly walked out, right? And I go, wait a minute. And then I put two and two together. So he started going for the door fast. And I was only a couple steps behind him. So I ran after him. And I said, hey, and yelled. And he then ran. So we ran all the way around that McDonald's. And at the time, he was taking his phone apart and took out like the card, like the SIM card or whatever in your phone, and threw it in the garbage can, but kept running this whole time. And I'm like, if I'm going to run this much, I'm catching this guy. So eventually, probably after 2 minutes, I got him by the back and hawked him down. I mean, defensive back move, grabbed him, pulled his shirt down, and pulled him down in the parking lot as the Cranberry police pulled up, and then held him down. I said, listen, you move around, I'm going to hit you. And they pulled up, they grabbed him. Well, they had found that he had done that many times in the past. They went back and got the card, and I ended up, they just contacted me. I didn't have to go full on to court or whatever, but he got in a lot of trouble for doing that. But it was emblematic of, like, if he was just going to run away and get in his car, I wonder if they were ever going to catch the guy.
Never. They never would have. No, they
And
never would have. And that's just one of the three things that I noticed about, and again, under the banner of Good Samaritan. It's not even Good Samaritan, I don't think, anymore. It's just get involved, people. Don't
well,
just turn your back,
and it's
right?
the young girl that was beat up on the street in front of 50 people the other day downtown too. Like, I don't know if everybody's going to jump in and get into a mutual combatancy situation, but you got to do something. I just can't feel good about not doing anything.
Yeah, I'm with you. I am absolutely with you. I've had a couple of those instances, but I just really think that it's admirable that you did that. You had one downtown, one in Cranberry. Where was the other one?
One in Bloomfield, one in Cranberry, and then one in Shadyside. I saw a guy smack his girlfriend right in the face.
What?
Bam, right across the face. And
What did you
said,
do?
I walked up and I said, that's not going to work. I was with a couple of friends. I said, that's not going to work, because the bartender started to give him some stuff. And I said, no. And he hit her like right in the face, smacked her. She's crying. And I grabbed him by his hand. And luckily there was a detail policeman like at the next bar.
Yeah.
Somebody went and grabbed him, and I grabbed the guy. I said, if you hit her again, I'm gonna put you down.
Good for
And
you.
it's just, again, we're so hesitant, I think, as a society to get involved. And in a way, I can understand. You don't want to get sued. You don't want to get shot. But unless we self-govern, things are going to all go to heck even more.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to call attention to it because I think that it's an admirable trait. And I think that, if we can spread that word, if it just makes a difference for two people, that makes a huge difference. And so I applaud you. I'm not surprised also. And, but I really wanted to call attention to it.
Well, yeah, it's how I'm wired. I think I'm wired a lot like you.
Unfortunately, I think you might be. And it's sad for you because I'm I had a similar situation, and I won't get into the details, but I was driving on one of the roads here by where the Pines Tavern used to be.
Right?
What's that road? I forget the name of that road. And off to the left, you saw some of those houses are set back. And I happened to look to the left, and there was a car parked in the driveway. And I saw a guy leaning in the front seat from outside the car, and you could hear screaming. And so I didn't realize what it was until I realized that he was hitting her. He was hitting somebody that was in the front seat. And when I realized it, I flipped around real quick and I went back and I chased him, and he disappeared. I didn't catch him, but he disappeared. And that's exactly what happened. He beat her up. And yeah, that, like you said, that doesn't work. I can't watch that. I can't just drive by and watch that. So, that's a dangerous thing to do sometimes because you don't know, but I hope more people do get involved.
Yeah.
Right.
Crazy.
So anyway, aside from that, the black and gold banter, the black and gold's been pretty active.
Yeah. 3-year contract extension for Mike Tomlin.
How do you feel about that?
It's not a surprise. Everybody knew it was coming. It's further emphasizes and hammers home the notion that we all know, which is this, that the Steelers value stability more than anything in the world. And that's, they like to have stability. And that's, if on their to-do list or on their list of wants, that's number one. They want stability. I mean,
I have to be honest with you. Running a business, running an organization, anything. I agree with it. I agree with it. Our most successful ventures, dealerships, are the ones with the most stability. And I believe you can draw a straight line correlation to that. And I think that's what makes the Steelers the Steelers. win some, lose some. I think Mike's time has come. I think that the one greatest things that he did was the ability to recognize where people were letting him down. Wasn't all the coaches, it wasn't all the players, but it was a combination. We had players and coaches that weren't performing to what their expectation was. Now, is this new one? Is this the magic dust? I don't know that there is any magic dust, but personally, from the sidelines, I love the moves he's made. I think Russ Wilson, I will tell you this about Russ Wilson that I do happen to know personally firsthand. And this is a very humble man, a very grateful man. And I think he's a good man. And I think that's pretty consistent with what you just said about stability, because stability comes with those other qualities. You can't be stable without those other traits. And I think that Russell Wilson falls right into that. Plus, he can play. Plus, he can, threw 26 touchdowns, 3,000 yards. You can't take away from that. I look at Russell's problems in Denver as Sean Payton. I just absolutely hate Sean Payton.
Yeah, you've
Absolutely.
always been consistent with that. You've
I
never.
hate Sean Payton. How do you like somebody that puts a $5,000 bounty on hurting another person in the NFL, in one of the most structured organizations, professional organizations in the world, and we allowed this man, we let him come back, puts a $5,000 bounty. I forget who he put it on. Do you remember who it was?
On a bunch of teams and a bunch of star players.
Yeah, yeah, on players. And so I don't know how anybody, and so if Russell made a mistake, it was in believing in Sean Payton, because that man should have never been allowed to coach again, ever, ever, ever. And I hope he sees this, because I'll tell him right to his face. And he denied the opportunity to speak well of Russell Wilson when he was asked at the owners' meetings, and he made it like Russell Wilson was the problem. And Sean Payton, if you're seeing this and you're hearing this, man, come talk to me about it, because you're really not a good guy. And so I look at it that way on the Russell Wilson side, and then on the other side, I love Justin Fields. I don't think we have a lose situation here. I think we have a Russell Wilson first team, and Justin Fields second team. I think we have a hybrid of them both. I see packages designed to use them both. I just, the talent's there. I'm really excited. I knew Mike Tomlin liked Justin Fields of the year of the draft, because they spent a lot of time talking to each other, and I noticed that. And I noticed the camaraderie they had together. So I'm really pleased with it. I love it, and I love every draft pick. I love every move they've made. I am so all Steelers this year, you can't believe it.
I'm excited about the quarterback position. I want to see what happens. I want them to stay healthy. I am. I'm pretty high on them, but we've got to see what happens. We've got to see what the running back does, and we've got to see them along the defensive front. But I am. I'm pretty. There's no excuses. That's for sure.
Yeah, they've taken them all away. I thought it was cute though yesterday when I saw a press conference with Arthur Smith, that when Mike called him, he was on his way to Dubai, and he didn't come right back, and he said, "No, I didn't want to get divorced." So he continued with his vacation. But that was cute. But I'm looking forward to him. I'm looking forward to a whole new system. Um, it's part of it is addition by subtraction. You get rid of the worst coordinator I've ever seen anywhere in all of my years, and that's a lot of years. But he is the worst coordinator I've ever seen. So I think we've even added by losing him. We've added we'll call it a 12th player on the field.
Well, everybody knew that. See, that was the thing, and not to belabor it, but you knew it was going to end bad. Like,
Yes.
it was never going to end in success with Matt
Right.
Canada.
No.
And I'm kind of glad they did it. They shouldn't have re-upped him for the other year, but I think they took a big step forward in getting into this century by getting rid of a guy in season.
Yes, they did. And I think, the combination, when you go back to the winning ways of the Steelers and what the expectations are, I think, the Mike Tomlin, Omar Khan marriage is golden. I think that, that's a team. You can't put together winning without a team. It can't be a great individual. It can't be me, unless, of course, you're Kobe Bryant. And he says, me, me. And Shaq says, there is no me in team. And he goes, yeah, but what'd he say? It was great. He said, yeah, but there's an I. Yeah, MFer.
Well, do you think that Mike Tomlin will let Arthur Smith have full reign of the offense, or he will be hesitant because he did that with the last guy?
No, I personally, and again, it's just sideline chatter, but I think that Mike will, because I think Mike will be, he will help design it, and they will discuss what the look is going to be, and then it's going to be in Arthur's hands. I do believe that. You have to let him do his job, or don't bring him. But in terms of designing the overall strategy, I think Mike's going to be very involved, and as he should. I mean, Mike's brilliant. Mike is a very smart guy. I mean, when you talk to Mike, I could bring Mike in here and have him run my organization because he would be successful.
Oh, he's a football CEO. There's no question about it. And
No,
probably
no doubt.
he's one of the best in the league, if not the best, at being the CEO and handling day-to-day operations of an organization, not a team, an organization, because there's a
Yeah.
difference.
Yep, I agree. I agree with that 100%. And so I think that the marriage of those two is really going to be really important. It's been important in designing this team. The Patrick Queen move, man, I love that hire. I love it.
Well, yeah, and then you get a guy who was beloved where he was to come here and then say, "This is better than where I was." Like that shocked me that Patrick Queen talked not bad about Baltimore, but like even he hasn't spoken in rosy terms about Baltimore after he was here in Pittsburgh, and he hasn't played a game yet. That said a lot.
Yeah, it did. It said a lot, and I think it's a lot of belief in Mike Tomlin.
I
I
agree with.
think I think that's what it is. I think that the world might be realizing now just what we already know about Mike Tomlin. And they're seeing it based on some of the offseason moves. They're seeing it based on some of the things you said, coming into this century by making that change in mid-season. I think that everybody's now realizing, and then you look at Bill Belichick, and he can't get a job. Well, he can't get a job. It's only comma. He can't get a job in the position he wants, but he can get a job tomorrow. But Mike Tomlin's different than that. Mike Tomlin has the it factor. Mike Tomlin, Quincy Jones used to say, who was a famous producer, produced and directed Live Aid and did all that. But Quincy Jones used to say, because he produced Michael Jackson, Tevin Campbell, Diana Ross, produced all those wonderful people, and he said he would talk about the it factor. And he said, I can't describe it. I don't know what it is. I can't put it in words, but it's it in quotes, right? And he said Elvis Presley had it. Michael Jackson had it. Mike Tomlin has it. He really does, and he's magnanimous. He brings so much to the table. No, Mike, this is not a paid endorsement, so I'm sorry. Lose the first 5 games, and I'll change real fast. No, I'm kidding. But my expectations and excitement, enthusiasm for this team this year are really, really high.
I'm the same way. I mean, I expect a playoff run. There's no other way around it. And anything
Oh,
else.
I'm so excited about it. I really am. I love Russell Wilson. I'm not going to tell you yet that he's driving one of our Black New Navigators. I'm not going to tell you that yet because
Gotcha.
okay, it's a secret. But you talk about gracious, humble, committed, family guy. You talk about all of those things, and man, you look that up in the dictionary, and you're going to find Russell Wilson's picture.
Awesome.
And
Good.
Sean Payton, I'm going to say it again, just in case you missed the first time. I think you are a bad dude, man, and you should never be allowed to coach again, ever, ever, ever. Okay, there I've said. Can we tag him on
Yeah,
this?
do
Can we
that.
tag Sean Payton? I want to tag him somehow.
I
I
hope
want him to see this. I hope he responds, because I know I have a bodyguard, and it's you.
No, it's not.
Oh, yes, it is. You're the guy that punches the guy in the face.
Chris Thing.
Yeah, no, you're gonna have to be that guy, because you're gonna have to save me, because he's gonna come here and want to beat me up, and you're not gonna let that happen.
Well, you got big guys working in that shop.
Well, this is so fun. I'm so glad we're back together.
Wednesdays. Yes.
Wednesdays.
We're ready to go. I will talk to you next week.
I'd love to. I can't wait. Thanks,
Can't,
Colin.
I'll see you.